We are very lucky and fortunate to have on the phone right now the newly crowned Miss Massachusetts, Ashlyn Mercier. Ashlyn, thanks for taking the time this morning. I appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, not only are you now Miss Massachusetts, but you are a Westborough Police Officer, too.
Yes.
Yeah, right on. And, we're very proud that someone from Central Mass got the crown, but to have someone in law enforcement get it, that's pretty awesome. Has there ever been a police officer or anyone else in law enforcement that's gotten the Miss Massachusetts?
So I am actually the first active duty law enforcement officer to ever be crowned Miss Massachusetts.
Wow.
And I will only be the second to ever compete at the Miss America competition in September.
Okay, so I was going to be my next question. I was kind of going over that in my head. I didn't want to jinx it by asking it, but there was another police officer who competed in the Miss America pageant?
Yes, back in 1994, I believe. So it's been over 30 years, and I will be the second.
Well, they're due. You're due.
Yeah,
I think. Absolutely.
I think so.
And you're originally from Oxford, right? You're born and raised in Oxford?
Yes. Yeah. I attended Oxford Public Schools up through middle school, and then I attended Marionopolis Preparatory School in Thompson, Connecticut for high school.
Wow.
But born and raised in Oxford, hometown girl.
How many times have you been to Oxford's Carl's Oxford Diner? And how many times have you eaten a pound of bacon?
Oh, my goodness. This is so embarrassing, but I've only been there one time, if you can believe it.
Well, I can believe it because you've been very busy. I mean, you went to no, you've been very busy. You went to New Haven University, right? And you got was it a bachelor's in national security? Is that correct?
Yes.
And then you went to BU after that, right? And so you've been very busy.
I have, yes. Lots of education. That's one of the things that's so great about the Miss America opportunity is my 6 years competing in pageants is I've been earning scholarship dollars the entire time to put towards my education.
Okay.
And so my total is over $17,000 in scholarships that I've earned competing in this organization.
And it's been very focused. At BU, you got your master's. Was it a master's in criminology?
It was a Master of Science in Criminal Justice, and then I did a concentration in cybercrime investigation and cybersecurity.
Wow. So you've been totally focused on your law enforcement career here, and then the pageant thing just kind of, I mean, that really started rolling for you. At what point was there any time you're like, well, I got to choose one or the other? Or, I mean, I imagine balancing both of those was tough.
Yeah, so in 2024, that was my last time competing in Miss Massachusetts prior to this year. And I ended up placing third runner-up at that competition. And, I was very excited for what was to come next. But about a month later, I got the opportunity to pursue my dream career of becoming a police officer with Westborough. And I kind of thought that meant that I'd have to close the door on my dream of becoming Miss Massachusetts, just because I hadn't seen a role model. I hadn't really seen anyone balance both. But, I felt called and compelled to come back after taking a year off, attending the police academy, getting a little bit more developed in my job and my career as a police officer. And I'm just so glad that I felt called to come back and I made that decision because obviously it worked out really well for me.
And you've been with the Westborough Police Department for about a year. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, a little over a year. I graduated from the MPTC Linfield Academy in February of 2025.
So I imagine the balancing act continues because along with those responsibilities, you have a lot of responsibilities as Miss Massachusetts. So are you going to be able to take time off to fulfill those?
So I'm planning on continuing to work and be Miss Massachusetts at the same time. I know it's going to be a crazy year, but I'm just ready to buckle up and enjoy the ride. But I will be traveling the state as Miss Massachusetts, attending several appearances. And honestly, what I'm most excited for is to promote my community service initiative, which is Nick's Courage, One Smile Goes a Mile. I created this in honor of my younger brother, who is a 2-time pediatric cancer survivor. And so my mission really as Miss Massachusetts and with this initiative is to continue to bring positivity and hope into the lives of children who are battling critical illnesses.
That's awesome. That's great. And then bringing that to a national stage for the Miss America pageant, which is great. When is the Miss America pageant?
Miss America will be August 28th through September 6th in West Palm Beach, Florida. So
Wow.
the culmination, the final event, the crowning of the new Miss America will be on September 6th.
So you've I mean, to make the Miss Massachusetts pageant, you've had to qualify by competing in other pageants here, and so has your thorough education in law enforcement or training as a police officer, have you been able to apply any of those any of that training to competing in a pageant at all?
Absolutely. I say there's a lot of parallels between policing and pageantry that a lot of people may not realize. For example, communication skills, the ability to communicate and talk to people of all different backgrounds are things that I'm going to use as Miss Massachusetts, but things that I do every single day as Officer Mercier as well, in addition to public speaking skills and, of course, confidence and command presence as well.
Just a side thought here. Maybe if you go out on a call and you were wearing your sash, do you think that might diffuse some situations?
I don't know. That might be a little tricky.
I know there's uniform codes. I understand, but okay. Yeah, and Miss Massachusetts there's a lot of codes that come with that too. So you got to kind of balance that also, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What as a Westborough police officer? So you've been a year. So you're still considered a rookie?
Technically, I'm off my probationary period, but I would definitely still consider myself a rookie because, as you know, you see different things every single day. So I'm always learning. I'm always, trying to better myself and become the best police officer that I can.
And can you tell us what's one of the craziest calls you've been on as a Westborough police officer so far?
Oh, my goodness. There's been a lot. To try to keep it light, I guess. I did have to shoot a deer that was hit by a car, and I'm not a hunter, so that was quite an interesting experience for me. I would say that was one of the things where I was like, "Oh, whoa, okay, here we go."
Heartbreaking. Oh,
a little bit, yeah.
Are you going to share that at the Miss America pageant?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
But maybe they're listening to this.
Well, I'd like to say I can guarantee no other competitor in that pageant has probably been in a situation like that. Oh, actually, that's not fair to say. I mean, I'm sure there may be a hunter out there. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see about that. All right. Well, hey, Ashlyn Mercier, Miss Massachusetts, Westborough Police Officer, thank you so much for taking the time this morning to say hello. We're all very proud that you made it to Miss Massachusetts and are representing the state, especially being from Central Mass. We're super proud about that. I just have one more question. Again, obviously, you don't have to answer this, but I'm a very petty person. I'm like definitely Richard Petty. I'm Tom Petty. If BU had a master's program in being petty, I would be the valedictorian. Is there anyone from your Oxford school days that you'd like to say, how you like me now?
Honestly, no. I just try to be the type of person that kind of stays in my lane and shows everyone the respect that they deserve, and I hope that I get that in full force. And honestly, the Oxford community has been absolutely incredible, the outpouring of messages and support that I've received from so many of them. So I just want to shout out Oxford because it's such a great little town.
It is. It's a great little town, right? And you are a much, much, much more classier person than I am. One of the many reasons I'll never be Miss Massachusetts. One of the several reasons.
My goodness.
Well, Ashlyn Mercier, thank you very much. Congratulations on getting Miss Massachusetts and realizing your other dream of getting into law enforcement. That's a lot of hard work, and congratulations on that also.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you again for having me this morning.